All right, everybody. Today is one of my favorite math concepts to look at, and it's utilizing different shapes to create new shapes. So today's activity is actually going to take you through a series of challenges of making shape animals. Using only triangles, can you make a cat? Using only ovals and rectangles, can you make a dog? And using only hearts, can you make a duck? And then if you have any challenges that you want to share with us, please definitely do so and tag us in the comments, and we can see if we can make something out of your challenge. If you go scroll down to the very bottom of this activity, it does have an actual sheet for you to draw it on. It even goes into another one, making a turtle out of octagons, which might be kind of tricky for sure. And seeing how many you can use only of that shape. But what's so interesting about tangrams is tangrams are a traditional puzzle, and I have quite a few links that I did not unfortunately get into the resources page here before we uploaded those. So I do have some additional links that I'll be adding in a separate email, or trying to create a link in here. But what tangrams allow us to do is to develop spatial awareness and investigate what happens when geometric figures are combined, and what other shapes we can make out of them. So this is usually where I'd use a lot of the hands-on blocks and shapes that we have. Unfortunately, without those resources available to you at home, some of the activities that I would normally do are not possible. So I'm playing around with some different web-based apps and things like that. I sent one out yesterday that was through mathlearningcenter.org, and it had that geoboard on there, so that was one option. There are also these pattern shape ones that I'll link in tomorrow, and these are ways you can either actually download the app or open just on the web, and then you're able to use those pattern blocks that we had when we were in school. So what's really kind of cool about this one is it's got all of these tangrams already built into the program, and then you just would need to see what shapes you would need to use to make this rocket ship. So tangrams allow us to explore things in different ways than how we're used to in terms of geometric properties and shapes. So we're still thinking about those attributes. We're still working with plane shapes today. However, I can see I need a rectangle here, but there's no rectangles in this. So what could I do? Well, I could rotate this, and again, it's not, using a mouse is a little bit trickier. I think when you use the app, it'll allow you to have a little bit more flexibility with moving using your fingers. But by putting those two squares together, now I've got that rectangle figure there. And then there's different shapes and sizes that you can add and see, okay, I need a large trapezoid. I have this one here. Is that going to work? No. If it does, okay, what do I need to do? You're just going to have to keep playing around with the shapes. And it's a really good challenge to get our minds working and problem solve and try different solutions, because while this might work here, if I put that square back on here, it's not going to fit down here anymore. It's going to overlap. And so that means that I did not put the shape in the right place. So you would have to just keep playing with that. So I will link that for the seesaw activity, and you guys can use that. So again, it's mathlearningcenter.org, and I just opened it through the web. And if you click on this boat here, it's got all of those templates, and then it does have a grid if you want to see the grid. And if I can extend my screen here, you can see there are other features down here that you can play with. You can change the colors of your shapes and things like that. You can clear over and start all over again. So that's a great fun activity. There are so many things. Just search for tangrams. There is a video, or there's an ABC Ya activity where it's going to walk you through. We'll start with easy, and it's going to ask you to go ahead and see what pieces you can use to manipulate and rotate and change. Do you need to flip them? Do you if you just go on and search for tangram animals, there are dozens of puzzles. This one's actually a grumpy cat. There is a video that will go through kind of a story and walk you through the steps of what to do. The reason why tangrams are such a great tool for us is we get to see how we can utilize our shapes to combine and create new shapes and solve these spatial puzzles. There are also plenty of sets online. This one, for example, is one that you can just download for free. And then now if it might ask you to create an account. If so, then you can create an account for free. And then it will show you various puzzles that you can color. They've got just the plain one here. They do recommend that you fold the pieces together just to make them a little bit thicker. And then there's even some pattern ones if you want to create a really pretty version of that traditional Tangram set. So there are some resources, even though we can't do them here together using physical pieces, there are options for you to do them digitally, and as well as this particular puzzle set here. Again, please make sure that you are continuing to explore different shapes and different attributes with plain figures. That's our main goal right now, is focusing on those 2D shapes, making sure that if there's any that we're not sure about, you should be able to name all of these shapes that are in the traditional Tangram, as well as additional 2D shapes. If you do go back to that, I'm sorry, I keep bouncing back and forth. If you do go back to all of the links, we do have some here for polygons, shape attributes, and different quadrilaterals. And like I said, I will try to link and send over some of those Tangram ones as you guys need it. I hope you have fun with this activity today. I hope you have fun exploring shapes. If you create anything, if you print those resources out, or you draw any of them, you can create them on Seesaw. I did see some examples coming through on Seesaw already. And remember, when you're on that Seesaw and you're adding an activity, if you want to do it digitally, they do have those new shape features. So you would just post to student work, go to your drawing tool, and then you're going to go to those three, which you're not seeing. There we go. You're going to go to those 3 dots in the corner here, click your shapes, and there's a whole ton of those pattern blocks here. We've got those traditional shapes that we would be using in the Tangrams, as well as in our classroom. So hope you guys have fun with this activity. Please share and show us all what you are coming up with. I can't wait to see.